NFL draft season upon us. No better person to talk to than Joe Buscaglia for the last, I don't know, what is it, Joe? 2 months, 3 months? That's all you've been thinking about the NFL draft?
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue in my brain.
That means you're like the person that we can talk to because at least for me, I'm caught up on the NFL draft, but not nearly as much as normal because I've still been in hockey mode for so
hmm
much. And they were relevant up until this point. So I think a lot of people, especially in Buffalo, are trying to kind of play catch up on this draft class, learn about as many people as possible. What are your just general takeaways about this draft class? Because every year we hear, oh, this is a great draft, or oh, this isn't a great draft. Like, what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, it's a bit different, especially in Buffalo this year in general, just because like the Bills have a late first round pick again. So I suppose maybe the overall intrigue isn't as great, but there are still some legitimate options for them to be able to add with a fairly significant piece for where they're drafting. I mean, they can definitely find a year one starter where they're at. It really just all depends on where their need meets value. That's my term around this time of year. NMV, need meets value, because I don't think that that the Bills are ones that really like to go off the rails in terms of like drafting a guy that's a round away or something like that just because it fills a need. And I also don't think they want to look at some great players and be like, well, we're not going to draft that because we already have like a starting option at that position. So all that said, yeah, I think this is a year that the Bills can find something in the first round. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be like a home run player or anything like that, just because of where they're drafting, but as long as it's a first rounder, and you never know with values and how they fall and how teams get crazy with quarterbacks, it could work in their favor.
It's weird because, like you mentioned, they've got a late first round pick, so maybe the intrigue isn't there. But I also think the intrigue might be greater because there's so many different things that they can do. Those years when
Mhm.
they were drafting in the top 10, you knew it was like, okay, they're going to draft a lineman, they're going to draft a quarterback. These are the things that they need. Now, you could argue they could draft almost any position besides quarterback, which is pretty wild that we're at that point. Just in general, do you think they should be going offense or should they be going defense?
It's a little convoluted just for me, just based on who's going to be there, and that's why the having the 27th pick is such an unknown variable, because you could sit here and say, oh, they should go wide receiver, but if like the top three receivers are gone, you're probably like, okay, well, maybe you should look elsewhere at from that position. I don't know that they're necessarily in on taking an offensive tackle early. I know that's a popular one amongst the fan base, but some of the comments that Brandon Beane made about offensive tackle lead me to believe, and Spencer Brown specifically, lead me to believe that they're pretty well suited, at least they believe so, with him as their starter. So I don't know if offensive tackle really fits into the picture. You throw tight end in there maybe on offense, but it's like, okay, you just paid Dawson Knox a ton of money and on a long-term deal, and he's Josh Allen's best friend basically, so you don't really want to go that far with it. And then there's always the running back conversation that I'm sure Bills fans hate slash love, because it's an impact player, it's a fantasy football position, and you never know. So I think I probably lean wide receiver or defense. That's probably where I'm at this point. But if there's like, let's say Bijan Robinson is there at 27, that's an interesting conversation to have for the Buffalo Bills.
We had the conversation a lot of times last year about Brees Hall, and I know Brees Hall ended up going and getting hurt, but when he was in, he was really effective, and that would
He's
have been cool.
electric.
He's electric, and Bijan Robinson, I've heard the comparisons are like Saquon Barkley, maybe not as fast, maybe not as explosive, but he does some other things well. Bijan Robinson will be a very early pick in our Maelstrom Dynasty Fantasy Football League. So we'll see how that one plays out. Of the wide receivers, I tend to think wide receiver should be the play. Now, that's an easy thing to say, not knowing who is available. But of the class, who are the guys that make sense for the Bills, and who do you think would be the best fit for the Bills?
Yeah, I think you start right at the top. Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State is someone that I think has 3-down potential within their scheme. I don't necessarily think that you have to put him into a slot only option sort of thing. That's where he's probably best, but I think he can play the boundary too. That's the big thing around this time of year when thinking about receivers. The Bills are mostly in 3 receiver sets, but if they want to run more 2 tight end stuff and only have wide receivers out there, only have 2 wide receivers out there, then you're going to want a guy that can potentially, especially if you're taking him in the first round, that can potentially stay out there with Stephon Diggs on those 2 receiver sets. And I think Smith and Jigba can do that. But the big issue is I think he's probably going to be the first receiver off the board. And I doubt that that's before 20, or I very likely think that that's well before number 27. So that kind of puts you into the next tier, which is a couple of guys that I really like. Zay Flowers from Boston College. I think he don't get too thrown off by his size. You're going to see 5'9", 182 pounds and be like, oh, well, that's a slot receiver. Not like completely. I think this guy can play the boundary. I think you can put him in a few different spots. Might there be a little duplicate there with Deontay Hardy? Maybe, but I think this guy wins down the field more than he does, for these screens and jet sweeps and things like that. Just don't let the size fool you on him. But again, he might be gone too, because he's got a pretty nice reputation within NFL circles too. And the other one I really like for the Bills is Jordan Addison from USC. I think from what the talent kind of shows, I mean, just a smooth route runner. You just see it. It's effortless. He's nuanced. He gains separation like crazy. That's one thing that they absolutely covet at the receiver position. But the big detractor on him is he came to the combine at 171 pounds. And it's like, okay, well, that is historically not very good for receivers and what you are looking for from success. So I think just for him, you would probably put him in the slot. But I also think he can play the boundary, which is what he showed at both Pitt and USC. And then you have this kind of guy who can be a little bit versatile with Diggs. He can play Diggs spot at Z receiver. He can play inside the slot. Same thing with Diggs. And those skill sets are pretty similar, I think. But Diggs is much bigger than Jordan Addison, which is part of the problem. So those are the 3 I would probably look at receiver more than any.
I think we're going to skip over running back just because if it's going to be a running back, it's going to be Bijan Robinson or nobody else. But what about
in the first round?
In the first round. But what about the tight ends? Because it feels like that's a group where there's 2, 3, 4 players who I've all seen kind of flip-flop. Some people have certain guys ahead of each other. Like, who makes the most sense for the Bills if they are going to take a first-round tight end?
Well, with the investment they made in Dawson Knox, they are looking at him to be their tight end 1 for the foreseeable future. So I think if you are going for a second tight end, you're going to look for someone with a legitimate blocking skill set. And I know that's not the sexiest thing, because it's like, okay, well, what do you want to run more? But it's a matter of the Bills wanting to be a little bit more unpredictable than they were really the last couple of seasons. They did a better job of it at the end of the 2021 season, and that's what kind of led to their run in the playoffs and being one of the hottest teams in the NFL entering the playoffs. But last year, you could just tell, like, there were so many times where it was just a bit too predictable. You knew it was coming. You knew they were going to be in 11 personnel basically the entire game, just because they didn't have the depth of tight end. So I do think that they want to fix that this year. Will it be a first round pick? That's the big debate. But if they were to do it, I think a couple of guys that stand out to me are Darnell Washington from Georgia. I mean, the dude is an offensive lineman playing tight end, if we're being quite honest. He's like 6'7". I think he might be in the 270s, but just a great blocker. He can actually move with that size. I don't think he's necessarily going to like dice you up as a route runner, but you talk about someone athletically that can just beast you at the point of attack for the catch. That's someone. He's got some good hands too, but mostly he would be coming in that 2 tight end formation and being the primary backup to Dawson Knox. The other one might be Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, just because he has a little bit more of a blocking skill set. But that's basically it for the first round in terms of what the Bills might do. I'm skeptical of them taking one in the first round, just because the depth of this tight end class is so good that it kind of reminds me of 2020 with wide receivers. Brandon Beane mentioned it a few times, like how deep the class was. And even though they didn't technically need one, they still took a couple just because it was such a good class. I think we could see them take at least one as the draft goes on, maybe through the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round.
Okay. And that makes sense because they just need another body in there, especially
Yeah.
given Tommy Sweeney is now playing for the Giants. They don't really have anybody else there that would be a legitimate threat to play. So that's something to monitor. All right, let's flip the switch now. Let's go to defense. I think defense starts and ends with linebacker, at least in the first rounds. And the names that are always thrown around are Jack Campbell and Drew Sanders. So what do people need to know about those two guys? And are they realistic options with the Bills at 27?
I think they are both absolutely realistic options for the Bills at 27. It really depends on what the Bills want to do at the linebacker position moving forward, because we know the last 5 years it's been Tremaine Edmonds as that middle linebacker. So the first indication would be, okay, well, they want to find someone with a similar skill set to Tremaine Edmonds, which would be more like Drew Sanders than anything. It's not a perfect comparison just because Edmonds was legitimately heavier, legitimately taller by a couple of inches. Arms were much longer, better athlete, I believe, or pretty similar, but still having a similar athleticism and agility to Sanders and being, a good 15, 20 pounds heavier. That's a legitimate difference in prospect there. So that's why the comparison isn't perfect, but you're talking about impact player that can that really has a good nose for these big time rushing the lane and meeting a player in the backfield. He's got good fluidity in coverage. So that piece is there. You just want to see the instincts and the experience kind of come along. And that's where the comparison draws to Edmonds a bit more. Campbell, on the other hand, I mean, if the Bills are looking for Edmonds, it's not him. But if Sean McDermott is looking for someone who reminds him more of Luke Kuechly, that's probably Jack Campbell. And not to say that Campbell is Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly was one of the best linebacker prospects of the past 20 years. And it's really difficult to envision anyone living up to that. But when you look at the size, speed, agility scores, explosion scores, his overall skill set in being instinctive, having enough fluidity and coverage to be a factor in zone, having good hands. The thing people look at Jack Campbell as like this just absolute run defending thumper, but he's not. Like he was an all-state basketball player in high school, and he could have gone to college to play basketball if he wanted to. And he's just a great athlete, and you could see it all the time. So I look at Jack Campbell as someone who, for me, I probably lean that way just because Sean McDermott is now running the show on defense. And I think he'll want something that he can trust. He knows he can trust leadership, intangibles, good instincts, good coverage instincts. I think that's kind of Jack Campbell in a nutshell. But would they actually use the 27th overall pick on it? That's the big question.
We've talked about now tight ends, wide receivers, briefly running backs. We just talked about linebackers. Is there a position we haven't talked about that you think they could go for in the first round? Because it feels like we've mentioned the ones that are obvious, but is there like a sneaky under the radar position or player who they might be interested in?
Yeah, there's a couple. Defensive tackle and safety, I think, are the two here. And defensive tackle, you look at their roster, and it's like, okay, they have 4 guys at defensive tackle. What are you doing here? But all 4, their contracts are up after this season. And that means Ed Oliver, Jordan Phillips, Daquan Jones, and Tim Settle. And I think Settle and Phillips are probably just Band-Aids. I do think they want to get Ed Oliver signed long-term. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen, considering the money that's getting thrown out at defensive tackle over the last couple of months. But I do think that is something that they want to get accomplished, and drafting a similar player to him might be a little overkill. But if they wanted to get ahead of the game and have someone with versatility to play both Oliver's position and Daquan Jones' position, I think that's something to keep an eye on. Guys like Mozzie Smith from Michigan is someone to monitor. Brian Breezy from Clemson is another one to keep an eye on. He's someone with an intriguing skill set, probably more of a 3 than a 1 technique, but still someone that I think can do a bit of both. And those are probably the first round options for them. And then at safety, if Brian Branch from Alabama is on the board, that's going to be a tough one to turn down, just because I think he would be a perfect fit for what they want to do long term. He can play both free safety and strong safety within their scheme, has that versatility, just very instinctive player, thinks it through, impact from a playmaking perspective. That's all there. But the thing you have to wonder is, would they actually use a first round pick on it when they still have both Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde as their starters for 2023? So a lot of weighing here to figure out what exactly they could do. But that's exactly what Brandon Beane likes to do. Like he wants to have as many potential positions he could target as possible. But at the end of the day, you look at all of the needs that we just talked about, and the two that I keep coming back to are linebacker and wide receiver. And so I think that's probably where things should go, but you never quite know how the board's going to unfold.
You said before that you kind of tend to lean towards Jack Campbell for all of the reasons that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. If you had to guess, do you think the Bills would also lean that way? Or do you think that they really are just going into this open-minded of saying, like, we'll see who's out there, and then we're going to go from there?
I think they would go in open-minded. There's also the matter of, do they believe Jack Campbell is worth the 27th overall pick? But there's also this little nugget of information. Jack Campbell is training with Luke Kuechly in the offseason. So and we know that Sean McDermott kind of thinks of Luke Kuechly as like his second son. I mean, he just beams as soon as he starts talking about Kuechly. So I'm sure he has talked with Kuechly about Jack Campbell. But it positional need. Do they believe that that's the best use of their 27th overall resource when there's some solid receivers that they could have? So that's the big question. I think if I had to guess, I think Jack Campbell would be Sean McDermott's cup of tea. And rather than go for the athlete with potential, go for the rock solid guy, still with potential, but maybe not as high of a ceiling as Drew Sanders, like they went with Tremaine Edmonds last time, and then have him be in the middle of their defense. But maybe they feel better about Terrell Bernard than we do. I'd be kind of surprised if so, but you can never rule it out.
My last one for you. Last year we had this massive sign-in of Von Miller, and that overshadowed really all of the other things that happened, all of the other depth guys that they went and they added. This year, it's kind of the opposite. They've had a lot of little depth signings here and there. I guess their big fish that they bring back is Jordan Poyer for a couple of years. Tremaine Edmonds leaves. What are your just general thoughts about the offseason the Bills have had? So basically everything that's happened from the time they played their last game up until when the draft begins.
Yeah, I know people wanted a bigger splash, but I thought what they did was smart. And because as much as people want to believe that the salary cap doesn't exist, it does. And the Rams and what happened to them last season and into this offseason is a perfect indication of that. The Rams, they sold out for a Super Bowl win. Was it worth it for them? Absolutely. But sustained success is a bit more difficult when you continue to do this over and over again. And continue to kick the can down the road, and you have to let guys go. That's the piece of the puzzle that everyone has to realize. You have to let them go. So I thought spending wisely was smart. Setting themselves up for when the cap takes a big jump with some new money that comes in to the league, I think is smart. I think they're setting themselves up to where they can re-sign some of their guys that they believe to be core. Maybe like an Ed Oliver that are going to be coming up on contracts here. So, again, not really the craziest offseason, but a practical one. And getting a third round compensatory pick potentially is a pretty good result for losing Tremaine Edmonds for what they did. I don't think that they expected to get Jordan Poyer back, but the fact that they did definitely kind of hurt their compensatory formula, but they lucked out in the fact that the Texans signed Devin Singletary to the contract they did. So it looks like they're going to get that third.
Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving with the Devin Singletary contract in Houston. That one kind of threw us all off. All right, that's Joe Buscaglia. You can listen to his podcast, The Buffalo Beat. You can also, of course, follow all his work at The Athletic. And you can watch him here on Channel 7 as we get ready for the NFL Draft. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Bové.